Many colleges in America face a big problem. One example is Mount Ida College. In April 2018, students went to class. The very next day, their school closed permanently. This old school, open for 119 years, shut down fast. Many students lost their diplomas and years of work. This problem was not new. It had grown for years. Across the country, fewer students are going to college. This means schools get less money. Now, a college closes almost every week. The reason is simple. America has fewer young people. Most college students are under 25. But there are not as many young people today. For many years, from 1990 to 2007, families in America had about 2 children. This number stayed stable. But in 2007, the birth rate began to fall sharply. It has continued to drop since then. 17 years have passed since 2007. The smaller groups of babies born then are now 17. These smaller groups will soon enter college. Experts predict that new student numbers at universities will decrease by 11% in the next 5 years. This is a major drop. This change affects more than just colleges. It touches the whole country. This story will explore one main question. Why did the number of births fall so suddenly and continue to decline after 2007? We will search for reasons. 2 simple stories. When we try to understand why fewer babies are being born, 2 main ideas come to mind. The first idea is about money. A big financial crisis began in 2007. This was a very hard time for many families. Lots of people lost their jobs. When a person is without work, starting a family is often not their first thought. They worry about finding a job and paying bills. Birth rates usually fall during difficult economic times. Even after the crisis, life remained expensive. The costs for important things continued to rise. For example, buying a house became much harder. Childcare also got very costly. Sending children to college and paying for health care increased a lot. All these expenses are connected to raising a family. Many people feel they cannot afford the number of children they might want. Some governments tried giving money to parents, but these baby bonuses did not make a big difference in births. This suggests that money problems are a part of the story, but not the only part. The second idea is about changes in our culture. How we live and think has changed over many years. For instance, the role of women is different now. In the past, women often stayed home and raised children. Now, women have more freedom to choose. Many want to work and build careers. This freedom is a good thing, but it also changes family plans. Parenting itself has also changed a lot. Today, being a good parent often means a lot more work. Parents sign their kids up for many activities, like sports and classes. They drive them to and from events. This style of parenting takes much more time and money. It can also create stress. Also, some people are worried about the future. They wish for their children to have a better life, but they are less sure this will happen. Both money difficulties and these new cultural ideas help explain why families are becoming smaller. 3. What people really want. Many people try to guess why fewer babies are being born. They talk about money problems or changes in how we live. But what do people really want? To find out, we can just ask them. Since 1936, a group called Gallup has asked Americans a simple question. What do you think is the ideal number of children? The answers from this long study are quite surprising. When we look at the results, one thing is clear. The number of children Americans think is perfect has not changed much in 50 years. Today, people say the ideal number is about 2.7 children. This is almost the same as in 1980. It is also interesting that very few people want no children at all. In 2023, only 2% of Americans said 0 children was ideal. This number has stayed the same for many years. It means that most Americans still hope for families with children, and many want 3 or more. So, Americans still want big families. The real problem is not that people changed their minds about having children. Instead, the problem is the growing difference between the number of children people want and the number they actually have. This gap has gotten much bigger. In fact, since 2007, the difference between desired and actual children has tripled. It shows that many Americans want more children, but something is stopping them. 4. The New Life Plan. Chapter 4 looks at how money problems and cultural changes work together. These two things are not separate. They influence each other deeply. For example, when friends or family have fewer children due to financial stress, others often adopt similar ideas. This then becomes part of the accepted culture. It creates a cycle where economic pressure influences social norms, which in turn affect personal decisions about family size. Today, many people follow a new plan for life. They believe they should complete their education, start a stable career, get married, and buy a house first. Only after achieving these steps do they feel truly ready to have children. Having a family is often seen as a final, important accomplishment, like a capstone that completes their life's journey. This means that a good job, a secure marriage, and owning a home have become necessary things people feel they must do before thinking about becoming parents. This sequential approach to life goals is a significant shift. However, reaching these goals is much harder now than in the past. House prices have grown very high, making it difficult for young adults to save enough for a down payment. The cost of living has also increased. This makes saving for big life steps like a home more challenging. Also, people are getting married later in life. The idea of being a good parent has become much more demanding too. Parents often feel they need to provide many opportunities for their children, like sports and music lessons. This requires a lot of time and money, making the idea of starting a family seem overwhelming without first achieving other life goals. This waiting for the right time has a clear effect. When people wait longer to have their first child, they often end up having fewer children overall. This is because there is a biological limit to how long women can have children. For instance, in 1990, the average American woman got married around 24 years old and had her first child around 27. Today, the average woman typically gets married at 28 and has her first child at 30. This delay pushes against the biological clock, meaning there is less time to have the number of children they originally wanted. This growing gap between desired and actual family size is a major concern. It highlights how economic and cultural factors combine to create a new life plan that many find difficult to achieve, leading to fewer births. 5. Good and bad reasons. Some reasons for fewer children being born are actually good things. For example, there are now fewer teenage parents. This means fewer very young people are starting families, which can be better for them and their children. Also, women today have more freedom and more opportunities. They can choose to have careers and work, which was not always possible. This means women have more choices in their lives, including when or if to have children. This is a positive change for society. But other reasons for fewer births are not good. Many people feel financial stress. Important things like houses, healthcare, and childcare are very expensive. This makes it hard for families to afford more children, even if they want them. People also worry about the future. They are less sure their children will have a better life. Modern parenting can also be very demanding and stressful. Parents often feel a lot of pressure to do many things for their kids, which takes much time and money. So we face a challenge. We need to fix the bad reasons. This means making life more affordable and helping people feel less worried about the future. But we must also keep the good changes. We should not lose the progress we have made, like women's freedom and fewer teenage pregnancies. The goal is to support families in having the children they want while still keeping the good things that have come about. 6. America is different. America's situation with fewer births is unique when we compare it to other countries. The birth rate in the United States is currently around 1.7 children per woman. This number is lower than the 2.1 children needed for a population to stay the same size without immigration. However, America's birth rate is not the lowest in the world. For example, places like Russia have a rate of 1.4, Finland 1.3, Spain 1.2, and Hong Kong has a very low 0.7. So, while the U.S. rate is below what is needed for simple replacement, many other nations face even lower numbers. One big reason why the United States is different is its long history of welcoming immigrants. Many people from all over the world choose to come and live in America. This flow of new people helps the population to grow. It offers a buffer and buys time for the country, even with fewer babies being born from current citizens. The U.S. also has a large population, which helps with new people fitting in. And English is the main language, making settling easier. This is a clear advantage that many other countries do not have when dealing with falling birth rates. Immigration is important because it means the country is not solely dependent on its birth rate for population growth. Furthermore, Americans still want larger families. Surveys, like those by Gallup, show that people in the United States want more children than people in many other parts of the world. The average American still believes that 2.7 children is the ideal number for a family. This desire for more children is often higher than what is found in many other nations, where people might desire only 1 or 2 children. This means that the main problem in America is not a lack of desire for children. Instead, it is about the ability for people to have the number of children they already want. This difference in desire gives America a strong position, as minds do not need to be changed about wanting children. The country has unique strengths that can help it manage these changes better than some others. 7. A big world problem. It is important to look beyond just America to understand the problem of falling birth rates. This is a big world problem. Across the globe, birth rates are falling in many countries. The global fertility rate has dropped significantly. In the 1960s, families had about 4.7 children on average. Today, that number is around 2.3 children. This trend is happening in many places, like France, Japan, Kenya, and the Bahamas, as these countries become wealthier. These declines are caused by big, long-term changes in society. For example, the way people view children has changed. In the past, children were often seen as helpers for the family. They worked on farms or helped with chores, contributing to the family's economic life. But now, children are often seen as more expensive to raise. They require much time, energy, and money for their care and development, becoming high-cost projects. Other large changes also push birth rates down. Better health care means that more children survive to adulthood. So, families do not need to have as many children to ensure some will live. Also, more people are moving to cities. City life means less space and higher costs for housing and daily needs. This makes raising many children harder and more expensive for families. Because of these deep, worldwide changes, simple solutions often do not work well. Many countries have tried giving money to parents, sometimes called baby bonuses. However, these programs usually do not make a big difference in stopping the fall of birth rates. It is very difficult to change these powerful, long-term global trends with just a few $1,000s. The problem is more complex than easy fixes can address. 8. The real problem. We now see the issue differently. It is not a birth rate crisis, but a crisis of high costs. Life in America is very expensive, especially for families. Many key costs have risen greatly. Housing is much more costly, and so is health care. Child care expenses have increased, making it hard for parents to work. College education costs have also risen. These all add to the price of raising children. People still want children. Surveys show Americans, on average, want 2.7 children. This ideal number has stayed almost the same. But many cannot have the number of children they want. The gap between desired and actual children has grown much bigger since 2007. If people could have all the children they wanted, America's population would grow significantly. This growth would be like adding the populations of countries such as the United Kingdom or France. So, the true solution is clear. Make life more affordable for everyone. This means lowering costs for housing, healthcare, and childcare. If these become easier to afford, people can start the families they desire. This helps both families and the country. What do you think is the biggest barrier for young people who want to start a family today?
Hey there! Just a second before you go. If you learned something new today, please give this video a like, write your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to the channel. It only takes a second, and it really, really helps to create even better English videos for you. Your support means the world. Thank you.